Hello, friend. I know you probably clicked on this video because at some point in your life, you've bottled up your emotions, or maybe you're doing it right now. And honestly, bottling up emotions has become so common that most of us don't even realize we're doing it anymore. We smile when we're hurting, we say, "I'm fine," when we're clearly not, and we convince ourselves that if we ignore what we're feeling, it'll eventually go away. But that's rarely what happens. Instead, those emotions quietly stay inside us until one day they become too heavy to carry. Maybe you're scared of being judged. Maybe you're scared of looking weak. Maybe you don't want to become a burden to someone else. Whatever your reason is, I hope this video helps you understand yourself a little better. So let's talk about it. The truth is, people bottle up their emotions for many different reasons. Some people want to look strong. They create this image of themselves where they're always okay, always calm, always composed, and they feel like showing emotions would somehow ruin that identity. Some people are simply afraid of being judged. They worry that if they open up, people will think they're overreacting or being dramatic. Others don't want to burden the people they love, so they keep telling themselves, "I'll deal with it myself." And some people genuinely believe that emotions are a weakness, that crying makes them weak, or talking about their feelings makes them immature. But honestly, none of these reasons solve the problem. They only hide it for a while. That's why I think becoming self-aware is so important. Ask yourself, why do I keep everything inside? What am I actually afraid of? Because once you understand the reason behind your actions, it becomes much easier to change them. I used to be like that too. I rarely talked about what I was feeling because I had trust issues, and I genuinely believed nobody could solve my problems except me. I thought that if I kept everything to myself, I would think more clearly, become stronger, and eventually find a solution on my own. At first, it felt like I was doing the right thing. But slowly, I realized that nothing was actually getting better. Instead of becoming emotionally stronger, I became emotionally exhausted. My mind constantly felt overloaded, and sometimes I couldn't even understand what I was feeling anymore. It felt like carrying a huge rock on my back. I wasn't giving myself the chance to understand my emotions. I was only carrying them. And honestly, those are two completely different things. For me, it mostly became emotional burnout, but for someone else, it could become anxiety, constant overthinking, isolation, mental exhaustion, or even physical health problems. Everyone experiences it differently, but the pattern is usually the same. The emotions never disappear. They simply stay inside. Imagine your emotions as pieces of paper. Every time something hurts you, you put another paper inside a box, then another, then another. Eventually, the box becomes completely full, but instead of opening it, you keep forcing more papers inside. Sooner or later, the box bursts. That's exactly what happens with emotions. If you never let them out, they eventually come out on their own, usually in ways you never wanted. That's why it's so important to express your emotions in healthy ways. You can journal, you can go for a walk, you can spend time in nature. Personally, I love spending time outside whenever I feel overwhelmed because it genuinely helps me calm down. You can also talk to someone you trust, and if things ever become too overwhelming, there's absolutely nothing wrong with seeking professional help. You don't have to carry everything alone. But don't confuse expressing your emotions with reacting emotionally. Expressing your emotions means understanding them. Reacting emotionally means letting those emotions control your actions. There is a huge difference between the two. I also think self-awareness is one of the most important skills you can build. When you're self-aware, you start noticing your emotions before they completely take over. Instead of realizing weeks later that you've been bottling everything up, you notice it in the moment. You stop for a second and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this? What do I actually need? That small pause changes everything because you can't manage emotions you refuse to acknowledge. The moment you become aware of them, you stop fighting yourself and start understanding yourself instead. So, if you've been carrying everything alone, if you've been pretending you're okay when you're really not, I just want you to remember this. Bottling up your emotions doesn't make them disappear. It only postpones the moment you have to face them. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!